This study is about children's use of the disjunct or. What's interesting about or is that it has two interpretations. If we look at the example sentence, John went to the movies or the mall, we get the impression that John went to either the movies or the mall, but not both. But if we look at the second example sentence, John can go to the movies or the mall, then it seems possible that John could go to either the movies or the mall, or even both. The interpretation that allows for both is called the inclusive interpretation, and is thought to be the basic, logical meaning of the word. The interpretation that only allows for one or the other is called the exclusive interpretation, and is derived from an inference process called scalar implicature. One way to think about scalar implicature is to think of words being related on a scale of weaker to stronger meanings. Speakers try to make the strongest possible statement that is true. So if someone says, "some dogs bark," thinking only of the literal meaning of some, it could still be possible that all dogs bark. A scalar implicature is to calculate that because some was used, strong words on the scale must not be true, deriving the meaning some, but not all, dogs bark. Likewise, or and could be thought of as being on a scale. The sentence, "Bob ate an apple or an orange," logically could mean that he ate one or the other, or even both. But adults make a scalar implicature and interpret or in this sentence as implying not and, deriving the exclusive interpretation. According to comprehension studies, children have trouble calculating scalar implicatures, though some studies have shown they are able to calculate them given improved context. Children also tend to make mistakes with exclusive or. Much of the data on children's use of or has been in comprehension studies in a lab environment, so we decided to investigate contexts in which children hear and produce or. We asked these three questions. What interpretations do children hear in the input from adults? What interpretations do children produce in their own speech? And do adults and children differ in their use of or with regards to what syntactic category of words are conjoined? The corpus used is the ChildS database of child and child-directed speech. We extracted 733 instances of or, 421 from adults, being the children's mothers, and 312 from children. We coded for the syntactic category of each disjunct, interpretation of or, discontinuous or, and type of sentence. Figure 1 under results shows the proportion of interpretation of utterances by age. The green bar is exclusive interpretations of or. We found that child production of exclusive and inclusive or generally mirrors that of adults. Additionally, the graph shows that or was used overwhelmingly with the exclusive interpretation by both children and adults. This is surprising because previous comprehension studies indicate children do not have an adult-like understanding of or the exclusive interpretation, yet their production seems to be adult-like. Figure 2 in the next column shows interpretation in relation to type of clause. Again, the children's production seems to be adult-like in questions and statements, however in imperatives children only used exclusive interpretations, whereas adults were more varied. Now, figures 3 and 4 showed the syntactic category of the first disjunct or conjunct in data we collected on or and respectively. This is important because for or and to be on the same scale in order to function as scalar implicatures, they must perform similar roles syntactically. We found this was largely true of our data, with two notable exceptions being much lower proportion of tense phrases with or compared to and, as well as lower proportion of determiner phrases produced by mothers in sentences with and compared to or. Our data shows that children's production is similar to that of adults. This poses a problem for previous comprehension studies that show children struggle to use or in an adult-like manner. Particularly, they fail to use exclusive or where it might be appropriate. Production comprehension asymmetries exist among other features in acquisition, though we don't have a full understanding as to why. Topics for future study include this, as well as how children learn that the base meaning of or is inclusive when confronted with overwhelming evidence of exclusive or in the language input. This research and poster were a group effort by Benjamin Airola, Callista Lupa, and Holly Langenstein.